next, a bit more Star Wars dilemmas and dramas and arguments, because when isn't
Star
there?
Wars fans hate
Yes.
Star Wars.
But to be fair, I think they're onto one. I think they're onto one here. I think this is a valid discussion. Star Wars keep on hiring actors who look very much like characters at certain ages, i.e., hiring someone who looks like Luke after the Return of the Jedi, hiring someone who looks like Grand Moff Tarkin. Have I said? No, that is right, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
During the original trilogy, etc., as stand-ins, and then they CGI the other person's face on them. And in all of these cases where they've done this, everyone's going, A, the actor who you've got in looks basically identical anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Or B, even in situations where they don't, there is another actor who is basically identical. Obviously, the most famous one is Sebastian Stan, who looks
Yes.
creepily similar to young Mark Hamill.
Yes, he does.
And everyone's kind of like, if we don't stop this now, we are never going to get a new actor in the Star Wars universe, like playing another character. And the problem is, if Star Wars does it that way, everyone else will do it the same way as well. And it means we'll stop getting new actors coming through. Put it this way, if Captain America Civil War was to come out in 10 years' time with this kind of trend, you might not have got Tom Holland as Spider-Man. You might have just got a de-aged Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
And it's a valid concern, and I think it's fair, because if you don't stop doing it now, you're going to lock yourself into always do it.
Yeah, I think the difficult. So I agree. I think it's dangerous to completely go this path. I think the difficulty Star Wars has had is we're at a point now where those certain characters they're doing it on are such like iconic characters that, and the films have come out so spread out and all the different things have come out. It's like like far long ago when they first did it and like to now, and it's like they've kind of dug themselves into the hole of, well, we're stuck with what, like, we've done it a few times now where the likeness of this actor has been like we've found a way to digitally do it because we wanted them to look the same and we didn't commit to like using a younger actor.
I do get what you're saying, but let me just throw a little spanner in your works here. Grand Moff Tarkin, who's one that's been CGI'd a couple of times now for different cameos. In the original trilogy, he only had 9 minutes of screen time.
Well, I mean,
he's had more screen time
no,
as another actor with a CGI face.
So I don't get me wrong.
That's craziness.
I don't think they should have done it with like him. But what I'm saying is the issue is they chose to do it at first to the point where now it's kind of hard to go against that because it's like, well, you made that choice already, and now we're so used to that character because of doing digital. Do I think they should do it forward for new characters that come along? No.
I can only think of one character that I would be okay with them doing it for, and that is clones.
Yes.
Because even if the CGI looks a touch wonky, what you can do is you can individualize them with like scars or cuts or different aging styles, whatever, so that you can still tell it's the clone, but make them look different. But at the same time, you can probably find actors who will look similar enough that you can just go, oh, I mean, they're a clone. They've lived a slightly different life, therefore they look slightly different now. So I don't even think like that's a good example of when you need to use it. I think the only real example of when you should be using it is if the actor is still alive, you just need to make them look a bit younger.
Yeah.
I think that's all that technology should be used for.
Yeah. There's with Star Wars, I think I'm okay because they're getting better with it with the deepfake stuff. but it's like I'm okay with them doing it with Luke as long as it's in situations that we've had already, where it's like for one or two scenes, and it's like it's just as much like it's gonna sell those couple of scenes better doing it with it like a de-aged faked uh Mark Hamill. Like I'm okay with that. If it was to be like, oh, we've gone back to another Star Wars film and like one of the prominent characters is Luke, and the whole of it's going to be the deep fake, I'm like, oh, come on, you could have just got
Yeah, just
someone
get another
to
actor.
sell
Just
it
get
well enough.
Sebastian Stan in.
Yeah, I think with like we said for the clones and Boba Fett's actor who, Tam, I think it's Tamura. I
Yeah,
can't remember something like that.
yeah.
I think you
Tamura
could
Morrison.
you could get someone. I think it's kind of a point now. It's like, yes, you could digital double that for any situation. I also think you could just very easily get someone who looks like
Yeah,
a
you
young version
absolutely
of
could.
him and save him to play like situation where there's an old clone. Let him play some of these clones in live action.
Yeah. Um, but it's definitely an interesting complaint, and the problem is also with it a bit. It's not like it's just like Lucasfilm because it's not Lucasfilm anymore. It's Disney,
Well, yeah.
and once Disney start going, this person's dead. We paid their family X amount to have their facial licensing rights for the rest of time. They don't need to pay actors anymore, which means they can then start churning out Star Wars films for much less money.
So this is going into the debate of because AI is getting to a point now with it can generate deepfakes and voice, and you could churn out people's likeness. I Do you know what I think will happen with that? I think some studio will do it. I don't think it's going to be Star Wars. Star Wars has been very careful with their deepfakes and used them in a smart way that because they know it's not good enough. Someone's going to do it for like an like some studio will do it for like a story about an actor and their life story who's died, and they'll just deep fake it, and it will be like it will not be well received
Yeah.
because it will be uncanny valley, I guarantee.
Oh, for
And
sure.
studio studios will then realize this isn't what people like. People don't enjoy this. People want actors, and it will kill it. Um, Also, I think I can guarantee there's already a thing now with actors putting in their contracts that they do not have the right to AI generate them.
Well, I mean, someone won a lawsuit for that a couple of years back. Who was it?
I
It was
remember
an
hearing about that.
actor who was only in the first film of a trilogy. Their character died. Oh, it was the person who played young George McFly in the first Back to the Future film. In the second Back to the Future film, they did a flashback with him that used that footage, and he was not paid for that.
Yes.
So he went, my contract said I was only in the first one. You don't have the rights to continue to use my face. Give me my money. And he won.
Yeah.
That was actually a lot longer ago than I remember. Um, it's probably before I was even born. But you get the idea. Actors definitely do need to make sure that they can't be taken advantage of.
Yeah. It'll be. They're gonna be new
As
things now to
always,
protect their
newsflash:
likeness.
read what you're signing.
Yeah. Yeah. Always get a lawyer. Um. So. Yeah, going back to Star Wars, I think in certain situations I'm okay with them still doing the CGI faces, especially because now they are better at it. But I don't want them to like. I don't want them to. For example, say we get some situation where we're going to see a very very young Ray, with like as a child. Don't like digital fake her face. Just get as an
Get
actor.
a child. Yeah,
Same way they got a child for young Leia.
yeah. Just go and find a child. You will make their entire. Could you imagine if, as kids, you'd have been asked to be young Chewbacca?
Yeah. just a 6 foot kid.
Exactly. Like back in your early 30s.
But yeah, like I think there's going to be some situations I'm okay with it, but I do agree. I don't think the precedent should be people
Yeah.
start leaning
It's
on
definitely something that we
deep
need to
fake.
keep. Oh, not we have no power, but that needs to be kept a close eye on.
I,
Go on.
I was just going to say, I am hopeful that there's enough directors that appreciate the art of filmmaking and understand the appreciation of actual actors and not doing everything CGI.
Yeah, I think that's fair.